Welcome to week 12 of the 12 weeks of holiday cheer. I can't believe it's week 12 already. Anyway, I'm Nancy Dodge from YB Stamp. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, along with my other fellow demonstrators that are participating. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for following along for the last 12 weeks. It's really meant a lot to me, and I hope at least one of the projects inspired you. Anyway, so easy paper crafting ideas is what we were after. I hope we've succeeded. I hope you continue to follow each one of us on our YouTube channel. So let's get into what we're going to do today. Christmas gift card holder. So I did mine a little different. I don't know why I envisioned something from the usually, you open it up and there's a little gift card here. And they're very pretty, but I just felt like doing something different. So I used the Gingerbread Man dies. And these are the two dies that I used. I started out with a 8.5 by 5.5 piece of garden green cardstock, scored at 4 1/4. And then I have a 4 by 3 piece of designer series paper. I have a piece of 4 by 5. I used crumb cake on this one. I'm going to use pecan pie on the next one, just so that you can see a difference. And then I used a scrap of garden green for here. So this was what my vision was, is to have the gift card on the little gingerbread man. And then underneath, just for you. So the just for you is from this traditional labels, along with sending cheer and Merry Christmas. And then I used the gingerbread stamp, gingerbread man stamp, and the little face and the little gumdrops. So let's get started. Now I pre-stamped a lot of things, and I'll explain to you a little bit why I did this. So I pre-stamped my gingerbread man. So this is pecan pie, and this is stamped in early espresso. And the reason that I didn't pre-cut this is because I want to show you how I did this. So I'm going to pull out my big stamp cut and emboss. I'm going to try to get this so that you can see it. Hopefully I won't interfere with myself, which is very possible. And I'm going to start with the left hand side. And I'm going to use a little piece of this removable labeling tape, which I absolutely love. Not a very big piece. Doesn't need to be much. I'm going to stick it on my pants to get rid of. You could also use the masking paper from Stampin' Up. Okay, so I'm going to center this as best I can around my stamp. And it's not easy, because just as you have one part of the gingerbread lined up, another one decides to go awry. So I'm just going to do the best that I can and pray that the rest goes well. All right, I'm just going to stick this on gently. And then I'm going to put my number 3 plate back on, and I'm going to go right, need to hold it a little, just before the end. Do you see that? You're not going to cut to the end and then go backwards. And then we're going to pull this off gently. The hardest part is where I've put the removable tape. I like to use this a number of times because I find the less sticky the better. And I did put this down below because that's where I'm going to stick my little holder. So if it got sticky at all, it would be on the other side. Okay, now I'm going to flip this around and get my die and line it up. Now, if you lie it, just bend it back just a little. If you lie it flat, you can feel when it's in the grooves that you've already cut. Put my tape down, and I'm going to do the same thing again, just shy of the middle of the gingerbread. Just like that. And go back. Just knocked my water bottle over. Good. Luckily I had my top on. Alright, I'm going to peel this off again. Gently, so I don't rip it. Alright. It did stick a little more than I wanted it to, but that's because I used a brand new piece. I didn't stick it on my pants enough. But true to my plan, I did it down here. Thankfully, I don't seem to have any damage, but I did it down here because I knew it was going to be covered. Boy, it's really sticking. Just got to be patient. I know some people that aren't patient, but so now we have two rounded arms. I'm going to put these away, and I have pre-cut everything other than this because I wanted to show you how I cut that. So I have my card base that I said 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have two white pieces that are 4 1/16 by 5 5/16. So it's just a smidge bigger than your normal 5 by 4 or 5 1/4 by 4. And then I have my DSP that's 4 by 3, which will go here. And I have a piece of cardstock. I think it's about 2 by 3, and I scored it in the middle to make my little holder for the card. And I stamped and pre-cut using the Traditions dies, and I pre-cut a little hat. So I'm going to start with my stamping on these two white sheets. Excuse me. So the first thing I want to do is stamp this just for you. And I want it to be hidden behind the head, so you don't see it until you pull the gift card out. Alright, first I'm using my Multipurpose Glue, and I have it here on my trusty little holder upside down. I have these for sale on my website, ybstamp.com. It comes with this little bottle, and this is the Multipurpose Glue from Stampin' Up. I just like it better in the needle nose container. And on 3 sides, I'm just going to put thin. I'm doing this first so that everything, the glue adheres while I'm stamping, or dries, or whatever you want to call it. And the reason that I'm using the glue is because I'm closer to the edge than I normally am. So I'm going to put this at the bottom, and there's just a hair, I guess a hair, not even. Okay. And then put the tip on my glue. Sometimes I take my great big giant block and I just put it on top to hold everything in place. You know, it holds the glue while it adheres. So that's going on that one. And then I have Merry Christmas, and my inks. I'm using Garden Green and Real Red. So I'm going to stamp on the inside Merry. See if I can line it up semi-straight. Close that. I'm going to do Christmas and Garden Green. Do you guys do that? Use two different sides of the block? And I'm going to line up Christmas here. I don't know if that's real straight. We'll pretend it is. Then I'm going to get a scrap piece of paper and I'm going to use both of these inks again. I could have just left them both open. And I'm going to use my little gumdrop. And I want to ink it up, stamp it off, because I want it light. I don't want it to be prominent. Stamp off. And light. I'm going to quickly wash this so that I can use it with the green. I love this stamp and scrub. Wash and dry, done. Okay, then the Garden Green. Stamp off. On. Stamp off. I almost inked it up again. Spacing out. Okay, so there's the inside of the card. Then the cover. First I'm going to stamp it with Just For You. And like I said, I want to make sure that this, so it will be behind his head. So if it's easier for you, you can take a pencil, which I had here just a few minutes ago, and now I don't see it. And you can trace it and then erase it if that's easier for you. So basically, I'm going to put it in the center, close to the DSP, but not on it, so that this will hide it. I just thought that would be cute. Alright, back to the gumdrops. We still have green on here, so we're going to stamp off and stamp on, stamp off, and you can do however many you want. I think I did 3 of each or something thereof. Let's see. Put one up there, and then I think I'll just do a little one down here. A little extra effect. Okay. Done with the Garden Green. Quickly wash and dry. And red. Real red. Stamp off. Stamp off. It's sticky tonight. I'll just do one in the corner. Oh, I forgot to stamp off. Look what I did. See the difference between stamping off and not stamping off? That's what I get for not paying attention. Okay. That's it for stamping. Now we're going to put things together. So because this is going to be in and out, I want to put either tear and tape or Stamp and Seal Plus. So just kind of put your little gingerbread man in where you think he's going to go, so that you can see not to go above that line with your cardstock. So I'm actually going to put the Stamp and Seal on here, like the underneath, on the gingerbread man, so that I don't accidentally go beyond him. So I think that's about right. Put it in the middle as best I can, like so. So he's got a little flap. He looks like he's holding a little flap. Then I want to put on his little hat, but before I do that, I'm going to take my little 1/8 inch punch, and I'm going to put a hole, hopefully in the middle of the pom-pom. I didn't do so hot last time, but I think much better. And then I have this garden green, and this is coming garden green chevron ribbon, and this is coming I don't think it's out yet, but it's coming in January. So I'm going to put this through the little hole and gently pull it, because I don't want to rip it. Once it's in there, it seemed pretty strong every time I pulled it in and out, so I'm not so worried about that, just the movement in the hole. So just do the best you can. There we go. And then I'm going to adhere this onto his head. You can use regular Stamp and Seal or Stamp and Seal Plus. And I'm going to put this on the top of his head, because I don't want it to go over and be sticky underneath. So I'm just going to pop on his little hat, like so. And then we're going to take our base, and first we'll put the inside on. Yeah, this time of year I find we seem to be doing a lot more gift carding. So, you know, you've got some, you could do this for your mail carrier, you could do this for your hairstylist, you could do this for your person at the post office. Alright. And then pop this in. Pretend there's a card in there, because I only have one at the moment, and it's in my other card. And then I have these, I think these are like the sparkly traditional. I'm just going to put, whoops, I forgot my little banner, my sending cheer. Just going to put 2 dimensionals on the back. And you could put that anywhere you want, really. And I'm going to put these up here. All right. So here is what we've just done. And here is the other one in, so this one is crumb cake and this one is pecan pie. Just something a little different. You could do different hats, different DSP, different colors. You could use it for almost anything. You don't have to use it for Christmas, but I thought it was really cute. And then you have your little gift card. Alrighty. Get me. There we are. Thank you for joining me. And again, I really appreciate you joining us for all 12 weeks. And hopefully we will do it again soon. Look in the description of this video to get the links to the other gals. I can't wait to see what they've done too. All right, until then, happy stamping.